everybody, it's me, Margaret, and I am here with a new pattern. This is actually going to be a paid-for pattern because it's what's appearing in the January KnitCrate. I'm calling it the No Count Cozy Cowl. It's a crochet pattern. It's easy. It's very easy, as a matter of fact. You don't have to count. You just do it by measurement. And I love a cowl because you don't have that bulk underneath your coat. So you still have that nice warm snuggly feel if you need to. Look, this one I can even pull up over my ears, and ooh, I just love it. So anyhow, when you see the yarn that is in the January KnitCrate, you can see that it is perfect for that because it's nice and soft against the skin. I want to tell you, coming up with this pattern is one of the hardest things I've ever done, even though it turned out to be a really easy pattern. I felt incredible pressure because being one of the featured influencers for KnitCrate, that was like an honor and a really big surprise. And then, hey, we want you to do a pattern. And I was like, well, okay, because usually I could just whip out some pattern ideas and no problem. Obviously I was thinking I was doing a hat. I cannot tell you the hours that I spent trying to come up with something that I thought would be acceptable to be sent out in a KnitCrate. The pressure was so great. And of course I couldn't say anything about this. This was all back in November, I think, when I was doing all this work because my deadlines were coming up. And look right here. These are some of my failed attempts when I was in the designing process. This was me attempting to make a type of balaclava that I have in my head. It's like a hat. Pretend like this is a finished hat. And then this comes around your neck to keep your neck warm. It's not something that covers your mouth. So anyway, I was working on that, but I didn't have enough yarn for that. And here I was doing some sort of hooded version. This is before I even got the yarn, and I was trying to figure out, you know, what I might do with it. But then once I got the yarn, I realized it's not going to work. What this does is actually lays over your shoulders, and then you put the coat on, and so you'd have a hood in case you don't have a hood on your coat. But and it also acts as a scarf without the bulk, you know, down the front of your coat. And then I tried some other different types of stitches, and all of these are not, it's not that there's anything wrong with these. This would have been a hat done flat. It's just that they just didn't, I don't know, if it was going to be a paid for pattern, I felt like it needed to be something more classic than unusual. At one point I started with this flowery hat like this, and then I looked on KnitCrate's site and they had something almost exactly like it. So I was like, can't do that. And not to mention the fact that this yarn has been worked and ripped out and worked and ripped out 1,000,000 times. So you're only seeing part of what I came up with. And then here was the very first working model of the cowl that I ended up using. And I didn't even have enough yarn to actually finish it. That's when I pitched the idea, is I put this pretend thing on and hid that all in the back and said, what do you think about that? There you go, a little behind the scenes on the January KnitCrate. So I'll put this link in the description box below, but this is the KnitCrate site where they talk about the yarn, and then here I am modeling this. I'm trying to show them how it works when I was deciding whether or not this pattern would be acceptable, and that's the picture they used because I didn't have time to take another one. So there I am. And then they explain where they get the tones, and I got to weigh in on all of this. It was really interesting. They gave me the topic, which was shadows, and then we talked about, you know, just the emotions that colors make. You can watch this, and it talks a little bit more about the yarn. This is the yarn right here that comes in the membership crate. Look at it. It's a blend of superwash merino, 20% kid mohair, and 10% silk. It really is some nice stuff. Now it is a bulky, and that's another thing that was throwing me off, is I don't use a lot of bulky yarn, so it was a challenge. But this is the color that they wanted me to use, the blue. They specifically said to use that one for the sample. But here you can see the different colors that they have. What do they call it? Chill Out Dusk. That was the color that I used. And then wait till you see how good my work, that's the knit pattern that comes in the crate. And here's the crochet pattern. Look how good my work looks with this beautiful model. So that's exactly what I made, and this is them modeling it. Isn't that fun? It was exhausting, so I'm so glad it's over. I'm really proud of what it turned out to be, and I'm glad that it is over. Probably won't be doing that again. But I'm happy to share that information with you, and you can subscribe to KnitCrate by clicking the link in the description box because it'll give you 20% off your first box. Never pay full price for your first KnitCrate because you could always find somebody with a discount code. Mine is sheep20, but like I've always said, I love this company so much that I don't care if you use my code. Use your favorite YouTuber's code or blogger or whomever. Just don't pay full price for your first box. Now to see what I'm working on, I have to point you in the direction of my chair. Here is that seersucker hat that I started working on, and I'm starting the decreases now, so we'll see how that comes out. I talked about it in another video. And this is the yarn from the cowl that I just showed you. We're going to talk more about that when the new KnitCrate comes out. But this is some awesome bulky yarn, terrific. And again, what I'm using for that is this Peyton's Beehive Baby Sport. And then over here, I have just ordered a bunch of yarn from Michaels because they had a big sale. And what I am attempting to make is the Repeat Crafter Me Gingerbread Blanket. There were so many Christmas projects that I wanted to work on and didn't have time to do it during the Christmas season. So why not? I mean, there's no rules that say I can't do it in January, right? So that's exactly what I'm doing. Now, I'm having a little bit of difficulty with this blanket, making it lie flat, because Sarah has an unusual way of doing her circles. Instead of using the regular format that I described recently in the How to Size Hat, the Tricks and Troubleshootings for Crochet Hat, instead of using that typical method, she does a different type. For example, she doesn't like to do just a flat circle for her hats and have them just naturally curve with the shape. You know, the head makes it curve around. She likes to try to create a curve, similar to what you might find in a knitted hat, the way they do decreases on that. However, that is very difficult to size, and I completely forgot about her doing that. She's actually the only person I know that does that. Well, she employs the same methods when she did this big circle here for this blanket. So I'm feeling like it should be lying flat, and yet it doesn't, but I'm not ready to question yet, because what we do, it's got a circle in the middle, and then it squares itself out. So I'm hoping during the course of finishing the project that it will lie flat by the time it's all over with. I don't know, so we'll see. But this is that Michaels Impeccable, which is an inexpensive yarn and a good workhorse yarn. I figure since this is something that's not going to be pulled out and used all the time, that it's, you know, it's all right. It's just the cuteness of the little gingerbread that I'm creating. But I did get a really good deal on it. So I got a shipment from Michaels the other day. And what I did, I needed some gray because I do use a lot of gray. And there was a blanket, another throw that I was thinking about creating. I'm going to have to put the link to that in the description box so you can see it, or I'll put it on the screen. But anyhow, I got Red Heart Soft for that because that's a blanket that can be used year-round. And as you can see with the number of quilts that I own, actually my quilt collection and my aunt who made them all is coming up in just a minute. And I really don't need it. So I may end up turning this into a cardigan. I don't know, but I can't go wrong with gray yarn. And I don't know if you'll remember, but I really worked my stash down a lot before we moved to the Texas house. So it's time for me to start replenishing some of those basics. So what Michaels offers is something called a Pro Pack, and I think that's nothing more than buying in bulk. And so I got one Pro Pack, which happens to be 4 of these 3-packs. So you get a dozen skeins of yarn for a really good price. So I did do that with the gray, and then I bought what was on sale. You had to buy multiples of 3 for this sale. And I think it was buy one of these and you get one free or something like that. I don't remember, but this was the color I wanted for my gingerbread man blanket. So that's what I did there. But it's good to know the Pro Packs, that they do offer those. I think it's year round. It's not just, you know, certain times of year or certain sales being offered. There are Pro Packs that are available allowing you to buy in bulk for better prices. So good to know. So I got a stack of quilts here that was made by my aunt. I've mentioned them before, but I've never taken the time to show you all these quilts. This is 9 of them. There are 2 more hanging on the back of these chairs. But she was here recently. She just left this morning, as a matter of fact. I thought for fun I would bring all of these out because she hasn't seen them in years and kind of get her reaction to them. And I thought I'd share it with you.
Here.
Oh,
So.
Oh, really?
Quilt, zig. Look at, good Lord, look at all of them.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I had no idea.
I know. All right, this was the first one you ever gave us.
You are kidding me.
Do you remember this pattern, or do you
Yes,
have?
I remember that pattern. I don't think I've made it in a long time. But
This was actually
oh my God.
made for Maggie, and this is one I was showing you the other day that we don't have any fluff left in it. No, the batting is
Most
just...
of them These don't have much either.
And then, this was one of the early ones too. This was Tyler's. That, and it's the airplanes.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that one.
That's
Yeah.
adorable.
That is cute.
I don't know if I might have to lay these all out and take pictures for the video.
I probably don't have pictures of these.
This you just showed up with one day.
I like that one. I like that.
Yeah. You came for a visit and you said, "Here's a quilt."
Okay.
This is another one you did for Tyler. Look at it.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, the
This
sailboat.
one must have been
Oh
made.
God, this one is, oh God. This looks like a rag,
I
a
think-
cleaning
I
rag.
think the airplanes were actually for Thomas because it's in better shape.
Yeah,
so
this one was Tyler.
that was definitely
Oh
for
my
Tyler.
God, look at it.
Well,
We told you we loved
it.
them. See, you used to put these in them.
Well, I have some
This was
different
Tyler's.
ones now that have my name already on them.
And that's better because now that's all washed away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And then, all right, you already looked those 2 at the bottom. Then we have, oh, this one will make you laugh. You remember this fabric?
Yeah, I do. I love that fabric. That is so cute.
And I love the colors, happy colors. And look how you did the corner. You
What
did-
talent, huh?
And then this one I think matched one of the rooms in our house.
This one matches, this color matches what we got in
I guess
in
it
those
does.
pictures.
We probably should use this one in the living room now. I
Yeah,
guess
we probably should put this one on my chair,
Okay.
but I like my other one better.
Until you get your other one, right? Your new one.
That was a little thicker.
Yeah. Gotta
And
keep you a
then-
little warmer.
Oh, this is pretty
That's
too.
a pretty one.
That one matches your colors in your,
Oh, this.
That's
Oh,
pretty.
look. Oh no.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to replace. That's an applique.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was
yeah.
looking at this one too. Look, went over the border. Oh, how clever. Look at this one too.
Oh, how clever you are.
is that all the way
Yeah,
around?
Look, all around there like that. Gee whiz. Must have had a weak moment or something. I remember
You
that.
really loved us. Oh! And then this was specially for me
Oh yeah, I do remember this one.
because it has
Sheep.
sheep and
Yeah.
yarn, knitting needles,
Cool.
and then
I had no
Did you
last,
given us this many?
last but not least, look how pretty this is.
I don't remember this one at all.
Well, I sure didn't get it from anywhere else, but look how intricate, tiny, little bitty
Yeah,
thing.
I would never make that now.
Isn't it great?
That is.
Do you remember
I
any of
have-
this fabric when you
No,
look at it?
this is not familiar to me. This maybe. But this is not familiar to me at all.
Because you know, Tucker, you don't understand this, but sometimes we get fabric or yarn is imprinted in our brains. You know, it's like something that we bought in a situation that we remembered a great shopping trip, or just that we loved it. But this one's a mystery, huh? You don't remember this one?
I don't.
Well, there you go. We have a few quilts made by you.
I had no idea. I'm not kidding. That is a shock to me. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You sure that's all?
Now, my craft room is a bit neater. I did do some cleaning up, and I did make a few changes I wanted to show you. First of all, I did get some pillows made in that fabric, so we're getting closer there. I did get some pictures hung up there, and I added this table. Now, there was a time that I had my sewing machine over there, and that's where I thought I wanted it, but I kept having to move it because I love working at that desk. So I just went ahead and put that there, and then I can sit here to do the computer on the opposite side. And again, my chair will roll all around, so I can use the sewing machine, the serger, the embroidery machine, all at the same time. Here's the ironing station, blah, blah, blah. And then right here I've got a few products that I received in the mail to review. So we're going to be talking about these soon. And yes, another massage gun, and there are pros to this one. It's slightly different from the other ones that I've shown. Still believe wholeheartedly in those things, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Now you'll see Buzzy sitting up there. Cats love to be up high, and she does this quite a lot. And I don't know what to put in this area on the wall yet. I'm still kind of playing around with that. There is the lamp that I have stripped, and now I need to paint and go ahead and put the wiring back on. And I like having the plant back there. But I played with the idea of having a cat wall, getting like a cat tree, or building a little cat wall up there, because I can't do that in the rest of my house, but I think it would be really fun for the kitties. But we're not good at putting things on walls in a sturdy way, so I think I'd have to hire a handyman for all that, and I don't think I'm going to do it. But she sure does love to be sitting way up top like that. And we gave the old cat tree away. It had broken, and we thought, well, we'll get another one when we get where we're going. But I don't know where I want to put it, you know? So, in the meantime, she just sits up there. Now, in keeping with my 2021 goals, I am going to do more tutorials, and this is a visual aid for my next tutorial. Now, it's important to know that I am not going to do a tutorial if there are already good ones out there, unless I feel like I have something to add, like a different way to present the information, or more importantly, a different skill, a different method. And then I'll do something. But other than that, there's already some wonderful crochet tutorials out there. Now, again, we're doing some hat basics, like we talked about sizing in that last one, and now we're going to worry about this crazy seam. This is a typical basic double crochet beanie, and the seam is incredibly noticeable, and it curves and all that kind of stuff. There are video tutorials out there, but like I said, if I feel like I have something to add to it, clarify, make something easier, then I'll do it. But I thought you'd think this is funny. I ran out of one skein, and I went to go get one, and I grabbed it in the dark because my aunt was sleeping in the guest room, and I was sneaking up here, and I grabbed the wrong one. Can you see how the colors differ? But that doesn't affect what I need to do. So I am working on this. So this will be something coming out in the future. And of course, as we've talked about before, we're going to do this lemon peel hat. It's actually a seed stitch if you're more familiar with that terminology. But I like the term lemon peel because it kind of gives it that feel. So that's what we're going to call this hat. So these are the next tutorials on the docket. So you may notice some sticky notes over there. That's where I've been putting some ideas so I can keep on track. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!